Let's have some fun with this. Here it is, in my hands. New survey. Forbes magazine is the source. New survey that I've got to discuss because this is not coming. This is happening. Gartner Inc., a leading research company, conducted a survey of 3,000 employees. This is hot off the presses. This is hotter than the hot and now donuts coming off the line at Krispy Kreme. That's how hot this survey is. Social issues in the workplace. You ready for this? 3/4, that's 75%, of employees expect their employer to take a stance on current societal or cultural issues, even if the issues have nothing to do with their employer. Oh boy. That means you could be manufacturing tires, Joe. And company employees are saying if it's a hot button societal issue, we expect the company leaders to take a position. Oh boy, oh boy. 68% of employees would consider quitting their current job and working with an organization with a stronger viewpoint on social issues that matter most to them. Oh, gosh. Okay. All right, folks, I got to tell you the truth. Okay, can we just do some numbers real quick? If your employer and the leaders of your employment aren't taking a position and you get mad about it, you want to leave because they're not, or they take a position because you kind of want them to and you don't agree with it, and you decide, I'm leaving, guess what? You're going to run out of companies or you're going to run out of positions. Because here's what we know. We have a very divided country. That's just the way it is. I don't know what the ratio is on right-leaning and left-leaning companies. I think that's insanity. You're going to run out of places to work if your leaders have to align with you on every issue. All right. Here's where we are in November 2020. More than 1/3 of U.S. employees reported that the U.S. presidential election has led them to argue about politics with their coworkers. 44% of employees said the election had led them to avoid talking to, that I understand, or working with a coworker. Now, I've said on this program before, if you've got Pete, Mr. Politics Pete in the office, and he's looking for a fight or he's looking for an audience around the water cooler, I'm all about ignoring Pete, going, hey, I got a phone call. Like every time Pete talks to you, I'm even fine with the fake phone call to avoid the tension. I'm okay with that. But not to work with somebody. I could say, hey, Pete, I'm done, bro. This is not good. It has nothing to do with it. You can talk about it to anybody you want to except me. I'm going to be nice to you. We got to focus on work. But to not work with somebody, yikes. Nearly 70% of workers said they were very satisfied when their organizations took action in response to social issues. Now, here's what I want to get your feedback on in the chat room, in the comments section as you watch this later. Brian Armstrong, who is the CEO of a Silicon Valley-based cryptocurrency called Coinbase, came out and said, we are not going to have political debates at the office. He said, we're not going to do it. We are going to be a neutral company. He then went as far as saying, if you aren't comfortable with this policy and you want to feel free to talk politics at the office, we have a nice severance package for you. And we're not going to be ugly about it. So if you don't like this position, we will give you a nice severance package to leave. What do you think about that stance? That's my question to you. I got to tell you, I like it. He's saying, look, this isn't productive. And there's nothing good coming out of it. And it's nothing to do with our cryptocurrency. And so we're not left, we're not right. We're just saying this is going to be a politics-free environment. Now, I don't know how you police that, so let me acknowledge some of you going, yeah, whatever, man. Yeah, I get it. But the idea is they're trying to say, look, we just don't want any tension, that's great. I think there's enough tension in the workplace as it is without bringing politics in. Don't get me started about how Joe and Madison fight over Alabama, Georgia every fall. I had to before COVID became a thing, we had plexiglass in our control room because they were just throwing food at each other during the show.
Roll Tide.
See, there it is. Go ahead, Madison.
Go Dogs.
There it is. All kinds of tension in the control room. I kid. No plexiglass, and they haven't thrown food, but they wanted to. They're just professionals. Then here's the point. And he's actually saying, look, we'll give you a great severance package. Don't even owe that to you. He didn't say hit the skids, you're out. He offered a severance package. Here's what he told his staff. Direct quote, life is too short to work at a company that you aren't excited about. If you aren't happy with our position, hopefully this severance package creates a win-win for those who choose to opt out. I thought that was very classy. And I just bring that up because there's a real life situation. But here's the deal. The numbers say that a majority of people not only want to be free to talk politics in the workplace, they want their leaders to take a public stance. I got to tell you, I don't know how that ends well because so many people are really passionate about issues and really divided, and it gets personal really quick. It just does. And I got to tell you, you guys want to get together, out of the office and talk and fight? Great. If you can be adults and make up and come back on Monday and get after it, good. But here in the office, I just don't think it's good. Because here's what I know. I've got some great lifelong relationships with friends and family who I don't see eye to eye on some things that if we actually started talking about it, would be pretty divisive. Regardless of how we emotionally handle it, it's pretty different. I have worked with people. I work with people in this building that lean way different than I lean politically. Does not affect our ability to work together because we don't sit around and fight about it. And I will remind all of you folks who really want to stir it up politically of one universal truth that maybe you haven't accepted. Here it is. No matter how great your argument is, no matter how smooth your talking points, I have never seen anybody, friends, family, acquaintances, total strangers, get into a political debate or religious debate or any other hot button topic, and one of the people in the argument goes, "Ha! I got to tell you, you completely convinced me. I'm over 100%. This is unbelievable. You just blew my mind. I'm 100% on your side of the coin now." Never seen that happen, Joe. And it's never going to happen. So while I'm all for activism and being great citizens, because I think being a good citizen is as important as being a great worker, a great relative, a great friend, I don't know, folks. We got to be very careful here because we are going to force a toxicity in our work cultures that may be impossible to recover from.